Yes, Counter Attack podcast. Counter Attack podcast. I feel like I've not done a Zoom in ages because we've been back in the studio, innit? But I'm here to just give you an extra video, an extra bit of content. You know, we've got the main podcast coming up tomorrow or the day after, whenever that's coming out. But going to give you an extra bit because obviously you lot deserve more content, and because I've got more subscribers on the YouTube, thanks to Rants, I have to say, I'm just going to reward you with more. So now I'm just going to have a quick look at the playoff final that happened. So obviously Fulham won. Fulham beat Brentford. So I've got my guy Kagey here who supports Leeds and follows the Championship. I'm going to bring him in a sec, and we're just going to talk about it. It's going to be a very quick one, maybe about 25 minutes, half hour, maybe a bit longer. You know, I like to chat. So we're just going to talk. It's going to be an interesting one because Brentford were keeping up with some antics that Fulham didn't like. So, you know, we're going to talk to him and bring him in. So let me just get him in. Yes, you're on your side.
There we go.
There you go.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you, man?
No.
How are you?
Sorry, you just froze up there, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no. How you doing?
Yeah, man. All good, man. What's going on?
Nothing, man. Man. Thank you for joining me. Just gonna put out another podcast this week. You know, talking about the playoff final. So I thought I'd bring you here because I'm not gonna lie to you. Of all the people I know on socials and everything, you're like my go-to for the Championship. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people obviously just watch the Prem a lot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm trying to get more and more. I'm trying to get more and more Championship people on my timeline and whatever. But I thought I'd bring you in. So do you want to say who you are first?
Yeah, man. I'm Kagey, content creator, found on many platforms, guest of many, and Leeds United fan. Also write a little bit, so I've written for the Yorkshire Post too. So yeah, I'm around, man. You can find me.
Yeah, man. So big up for joining us, and I love that you support Leeds. How did you celebrate getting promoted?
Man, you know what it was? I was confident we were going to get promoted, right? But when it actually got confirmed, it was like a hollow butterfly feeling, like it was unreal. It's like it's been so long. It just felt like as it actually happened, as it finally happened again. And man, it's good to be back. It feels right. It feels like this is where we belong. So it feels good again, man. Definitely.
Yeah, no, Leeds are a massive club and
huge.
You deserve to be in the Premier League, and you should be. And I wanted you to from last year, but it wasn't to be. And you guys have done it again. And do you know what? I'm happy more so because I love Bielsa, and honestly, he's been your manager for 2 years now.
Yeah,
and I cannot believe that. I still can't believe that you guys have Bielsa. I don't think people realize who Bielsa is.
But this is what I'm saying. Before he came in, legitimately, we were dead by Christmas. This team, there was nothing there. Leeds United were done by Christmas. We weren't good enough to be promoted or relegated, or bad enough to be relegated. So you got 3 months, 4 months of nothing football. Like you're literally watching the team go through the motions because they're playing for nothing. He's come in and just made everybody fall in love with football again.
Yeah.
The way his methods, the way he plays, because he's got these players that finish 13th, 14th, 15th, perennial promotion contenders. It's unheard of. Yeah. And that is through his coaching. That's why coaching for me is so important. It's clearly important, but some people don't really appreciate that. They don't fully appreciate coaching.
Yeah, no, you have to appreciate coaching, man. And yeah, he's a manager that could easily, in my opinion, manage the top 14. That's how good he is. That's how good he is. He could manage.
This is why I say that with the right recruitment in key areas for us, we can easily finish 10th in the Premier League next season because we have a coach that's better than half of the league at least. he's not worried about Steve Bruce. He's not worried about Roy Hodgson at this point. He's not worried about these people, and neither should we with the way that some of these teams play football too. So he's definitely one that could be in that top 4, top 5 easily. I said to a good friend Rance, man, if Bielsa was, if Bielsa was at Man United, they wouldn't have needed the final day to complete that top 4. Not with the team that they've got. A good coach can get you those spaces before the last day of the season, easy.
Yeah, it's crazy that it took him. I don't know how you lot folded in last year. I think you lot might have just run out of legs. You lot just ran out of legs, to be honest. And
it was that, but it was too soon, man. It was too soon. It really was. Yeah, the players, you could see that the players weren't ready. So if we had come up last season, I'm not sure how we would have fared this season in the Prem.
And I said to Ranch yesterday, funny enough, he was talking about Leeds, and someone said a joke. I was watching his live stream. Someone said a joke that that Leeds we're going to get battered by Leeds. Oh no, joking. No, don't say that. No. And I had to comment and say, listen, Leeds are going to beat a good couple teams next year. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I remember even last year when they come to was it last year? It was last year when they come to Emirates. Or was it this year?
Yeah. It was this season just gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
January. Yeah.
This season, you come to Emirates and popped us. Absolutely popped us in that first half. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think second half, we raised it a bit, but then you also started to tire. Do you get what I'm saying? But that was, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably one of the most difficult games we've had this season. Do you know what I'm saying? So
and you see that game as well, Daps. Before we played that game, I was confident that we could possibly win at that point in time. But you were just the thing is you had Emery at the time when that draw was made. So I was more confident when you had Emery at the hill. But what that is, and that's a difference that we in the recruitment. How many chances we miss in that first half? We can't do that in the Premier League.
Yeah.
See, we've done that in the Championship, but and gotten draws and stuff like that. You lose those games in the Premier League, and that's why we do need to recruit, especially in those areas up top.
Yeah, and 100%. I think that coming up into the Premier League, I know he loves Patrick Bamford, but that ain't gonna run.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna run in the Premier League. I don't think.
Yeah, and this is something that we, as Leeds fan, you have to accept. He's going to bring him up because he's loyal. Bielsa's very loyal to players. But if you're gonna play Bamford, play him just behind. He can't be the focal point of an attack. Just doesn't work. He misses way too many chances. And he got 16 goals in the league this year. That's terrible for the amount of chances that we create. We create loads of chances, man.
I want to see if there's any truth in the Cavani rumors. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
see, I don't do rumors, Daps.
No. Hey, listen, I'm with you on that one. I'm proper with you. Like, so you see, even now with Arsenal linked to all these bets, I'm always just like, until I see them holding up the shirt, that's when I don't want to get excited. So, we'll get to Arsenal in a sec, like later on or whatever. But
yeah.
Like, we're linked with certain people, and I just don't buy into it. That's the reason why I don't do a podcast based on, this is who we're linked on and blah, because you can bring it up. I don't bring myself to be like, yeah, because I'll just get excited, and before you know it,
that's it.
They signed a new contract and blah blah blah. The last time I got really excited about a transfer was like thinking it's going to come was Benzema years ago, and then he put out a tweet saying, like, you lot are stupid, I'd never go, or some rubbish like that. And I was just like, you know what, cool. But if there is any truth in that, that would be a great buy for you, man.
It would be amazing. And the thing is, people that don't know would say it's unrealistic, but it's not. We're in the Premier League now, and we have Bielsa. He's a big draw for players. Yeah. So many players respect that man. It's unbelievable. Herrera, Mendy, Laporte, loads of guys in the game respect this man. So he can draw players like that to a club. Easy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We're going to quickly have a quick word on Calvin Phillips, obviously, the captain. How big is he?
Well, he's not our captain, but he should be.
No, to me, he should be. Ailing's your captain, isn't it? No. To me,
Cooper. Liam Cooper's our captain.
Oh, is it? I thought it was Ailing.
Yeah. No. He's vice captain.
Okay. Nah, give that to Yorkshire Perlo, man. Give that to him, man. Like he's too good, man. He's too good, and it's not gonna happen. He's gonna stay because you don't come to the Prem. I think if you had missed out on promotion now, I think he would have been gone.
Yeah. And you can't begrudge players like that and move to the Premier League. I'm not one of these people that say, "Oh, he's Leeds, he should play for the club forever." Don't work like that, man. Football's a business, and he wants opportunities to play at the highest level. If he's got that opportunity and we didn't get promoted again, you can't hold that man back. No way.
Yeah, no, I see him as Leeds captain because he just embodies that team. Do you get what I'm saying? But you know, we'll see how it goes. But what we're going to talk about is the playoff final. You obviously watched it, right?
Yeah.
Fulham 2-0 on the night. And if I'm being really honest, I never ever really saw Brentford coming out. You know, when I was watching the game, I never ever felt that Brentford would come out with anything unless Fulham dropped their level. And Fulham just looked like they didn't drop their level. So I don't know what you thought about it.
Well, the problem with Brentford, right, is that they have been talking a lot.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm talking before the lockdown. They've been talking. They talk a lot, and that's fine. I enjoy that, but you've got to back it up because when you don't back it up, you're going to get it thrown back in your face. And they've found that since they've lost this final, they could have got promoted. All they needed was a point against Stoke when West Brom lost that game, and they could have been in the top 2, and they lost. They won 8 games in a row before that and thought that they were going to cruise into the top 2, but the pressure's different when the expectation is on your shoulders, and this is what they found. Yeah. You know, I think in the end now they've won 1 game in the last 4 or 5. That's not promotion form.
Yeah, they bottled it. That's and to be honest, that's literally the be all and end all. And I wanted them to like go up. I wanted them to do automatic promotion and then Fulham to come up through playoffs, but when it got to that final, it was literally just a toss-up. I thought Fulham might edge it, but because Fulham have that know-how. Fulham have been there. They still got players who have been there, done that. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas it's all new to Brentford. And when I was watching that game, I think the occasion got to some of the Brentford players. I think the occasion got to them. I think they looked like they just ran out of steam and they just didn't have the answers. Whereas Fulham looked like they'd been there before. Do you get what I'm saying?
You saw the difference with the Fulham set piece that they scored. You know, Joe Bryan's free kick. Brentford had numerous free kicks, but they all seemed to fire them into the crowd, area, into the keeper's hands. There was no creativity on those free kicks.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a poor game. It was a very poor game. I thought they owed us penalty shootout for that. we deserved a penalty shootout for that, man. It was a terrible game, but
I think it was terrible because neither team wanted to overexert themselves and do too much because Brentford would easily hurt Fulham on the counter-attack. Shout out counter-attack over there. But shall I tell you what Fulham need to fix though for me? On the counter-attack, and I've seen them do this a couple of times this season. They don't counter-attack teams. Like they'll get into such good possession. No. I mean, in such good position, but then they'll just bring it back and recycle. And that just frustrated me because I felt like they could have done more.
I think that's an instruction from Scott Parker though, because it's very odd because I know what you're talking about. They did it to us as well, where it looks like they're going to break forward, but then all of a sudden they stop and move it to the side, and it's like, what are you doing? Yeah. You know, Tom Kearney usually plays further up. But Scott Parker, though, he's deep. Yeah, man, he's deep. So I think that's an instruction by the manager himself.
Yeah, I'm interested I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna cope next year. I think there's definitely areas that they definitely need to sort out. I think Tim Ream needs to hold bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think they can come up with Tim Ream there.
Goalkeeper too, man. They need a goalkeeper. Neither of their goalkeepers are good enough for the Prem.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think they can get away with Cyrus Christie. Shout him out every time. I'm not going to dig him up, but Joe Bryan, yeah. I think centre back definitely. I think in that midfield, I know Tom Kearney can do that the number 10 role, that play further forward, but they definitely need people in there. Do you get what I'm saying? Who's the one that played with him alongside him?
He's on loan. Harrison Reed.
Yeah, him. He's a good player. He's a good player, but I think you need to do better than him. He's not gonna. He's a good player for that level that they're at now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he's good at championship level. But the thing is, I thought he was some young dude, man. But the guy's like nearly 25 now, so he's not. Apparently so. That's what I heard. But he's not like a 18, 19-year-old on loan. He's like had a few years.
Yeah, he's. Where's he from? Southampton.
Yeah, on loan from Southampton.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now. Yeah, he's good, but he plays like side to side too much. He doesn't ever really look forward, and and I think
he breaks up the play more than anything. So he breaks it up and then hands it off to the more creative players.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think for him, he just needs to. Yeah, they just need to do better than him. He's good for that level. So they definitely bodies in that centre midfield. Wide.
But they also need it up front, man, because I like Decor Reed, but he's championship.
Who?
Decor Reed.
Oh,
you know, Bobby.
Bobby Reed, yeah. Yeah, I think Mitrovic can handle his own in the Prem though.
Yeah. Mitrovic is good.
I think
he needs to get fit though, because you know when they had a counter, man looked like he was running through mud, man.
Yeah, he looked like he had a tow truck that he was pulling. Do you get what I'm saying? So
yeah, man.
But that's always been his game though. Like he does need to lose a bit, but where he's so good at what he does, he probably just feels that he doesn't need
he's
to.
He's not even 50% fit right now, and you know it. You can see his knee isn't good right now. He needs to rest his injury. You can see he's not 100% fit.
I thought it was hamstring that was.
Well, he was limping with certain. Maybe it was his hamstring, but he was limping with certain.
But so Brentford, you know, with all the talking that they didn't really back it up, and I think that's the thing that really did surprise me, considering Brentford had never been there before. The amount of talk, because even when I saw them in their interviews, there was this air of like, we're gonna do this, and how you as a Leeds supporter watching that, how did you like look at all of that when it was happening? Could you see it at the time that right, you're not doing a lot of talking?
Yeah. It's easy to talk though when you're not in the top two. They never touched the top two once. Not once did they touch it, but they were talking like they were already up. So many quotes through the season were saying that they're just getting ready for the Premier League, and this isn't stuff that journalists have quote and then taken out of context. This is Thomas Frank and their players coming out with these words. So you can do that, by all means do it, but you have to then get promoted. You know, Thomas Frank, after the Swansea game, we're going to the final, we're going to win it. It's like, you got to relax a little, man. Just chill. Because it's putting unnecessary pressure onto your players too. But it's insane that the manager, it passed down to the players, whatever, because the players then, I said in a tweet, man, one of their players said something about Fulham should be scared of them because Brentford beat them twice. It's like you've just given Brentford the team talk. Yeah, you've just given Brentford the team talk. I mean, Fulham the team talk for them. Yeah, Fulham don't need to listen to a manager. And you could tell with the post-match interviews after that Fulham players had that on their minds. They weren't impressed with that. And why would you be? How are you, Brentford, talking about Fulham, who have been in the Premier League in and out, like they're just there to be beaten?
But it's not even the fact that they've been there, you know, before. It's the fact that it's any team you're coming up against. Like, it's got to have a level of humility, and I think for some of them, it could be easy to, well, a couple of them, to to let that happen, just be thinking Premier League, because a couple of their players, to be totally honest with you, have got their eyes on Premier League moves this summer. Do you get what
They
I'm
should
saying?
be as well. They should be. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking, and if Brentford had actually gone up, they might have stayed, they might not have stayed. But now that they're out, it's like a win-win for them, because I think the likes of Ollie Watkins, Saeed Benrahma, I think they should take a punt on Ethan Pinnock.
Man, I was going to say that. He's been wicked all season, man. The guy has been one of the best centre-backs in the league all year. I would love him at Leeds. If Leeds went in for Ethan Pinnock, I would 100% rubber stamp that one. He's been excellent.
Yeah, I think someone should definitely take a punt on him, because he's got all the attributes, and he's worked his way up. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all the attributes to really be a top defender at the highest level. So, you know,
he has. Let me tell you, Ethan Pinnock. Every time I've seen him play, he has looked positionally sound. He hardly makes a mistake on the ball. He gets his head on a lot of things too. He's been immense for them. Him and Janssen, in all fairness, have had a good partnership, but he's definitely been the better of the two, and it's not even close either. But it's interesting about Thomas Frank and his, lack of humility in places. I reckon Pontus Jansson probably appreciates that, because that's how Pontus Jansson is too, and I think that's why he rubbed Bielsa the wrong way, because we sold Pontus Jansson for some cheap money. When you really think about it, he's a Swedish international, 27, 28, and he went for something like 5 million. He could have gone for a lot more, but Bielsa didn't like how he was working it. If you remember when we made Villa score a goal, when we let them score a goal.
Oh, you let them? Oh, yeah. From the kickoff.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm not saying we just allowed them.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but he tried to kick that ball away still.
Yeah.
And again, that's against like Bielsa's principles, and that's what I'm saying. So his character obviously suits Thomas Frank a lot more. That me, I'm so good character. But yeah, man, Brentford, they're gonna get picked off, man. There's teams looking at their players like they can't wait to get them.
And the players that are looking to not leave. I'm not going to say that they're looking to leave, but the players that could potentially get picked up and everything, they're hard to replace, man, because 25 goals in a season, from Ollie Watkins, or he's got more than that, but still,
26,
It's hard to just find a striker that's going to pick that up without spending big money. And historically, Brentford don't spend big money to bring people in.
Well, I was going to say that, but Brentford, in all fairness to them, they do an excellent job replacing players that are left. They really have, because when you consider that they had one time Jack O'Connell and John Egan, who were both at Sheffield United, and then have got Pinnock and Janssen as replacements, sort of. And then also had Mopé in there, converted Watkins up front. They're looking at Ivan Toney from Peterborough, and that again would suit Brentford a whole lot in the Championship if they can get him. Yeah. He used to be at Newcastle.
Is it Toney?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've heard of him, but I don't know much about him to be totally honest.
Yeah. Well, if they get him, he's going to be that next one that they just put into their system and take over.
I think the levels, because for them to get to where they are, they've relied a lot on Ollie and Benrahma massively. Ollie Watkins, I think they're gonna struggle. If he goes, they're gonna struggle to replace him straight away. But it's easier to replace him than to replace Benrahma, because what Benrahma gives you is Premier League quality. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he gives you that Premier League quality week in, week out. Like, imagine the highlight reel for his season, like this year.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And not only, I'm not just talking about the tricks and the flicks and whatever. I'm talking about his match-winning moments. Do you get what I'm saying? And yeah, if they get rid of him, I don't know. Well, they have to. I reckon. I don't.
Yeah.
Think they're going to be able to keep on.
And recency bias kicks people in the ass so much, man, because you got people now talking, because Brentford didn't do too well in the last few games, questioning if Benrahma's any good. So, what are you talking about? But then, see, these are the people then that see these players, they move on to say, let's go for someone like Leicester. You do well at Leicester and go, oh, we should have got him. It's
Yeah.
like, well, look what you were saying before.
But and it's funny. It's funny you say that. Sorry, like I was watching that final, and that exact thought crossed my mind. I was thinking, there's people who are watching this, and this is going to be their entry point into Ben Rama, and they're going to think this is him. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's not him. And and even if you come and say, oh, but when the big occasion came, he didn't show up. No, because he's played for them before, and he's done business against them. Do you get what I'm saying? And any team he's come up against, I'm telling you, anyone that I've spoken to from the Championship who plays in the Championship, and I told them who's the toughest person to play against this year, like who's impressed you, they all say Ben Rama. Ben Rama. They say Oli. They say Pereira. Is it Pereira? West Brom,
from West Brom. Yeah.
That's the one a couple people have said, but I've not seen much of him, to be honest. Like, is he that good?
Yeah. He's good. He's just got to he exaggerates stuff, man, and it's embarrassing. You know, like he'll go down. There's a clip actually. Actually, I think it was Michael Hector tapped him on his afro, and then he was acting like he got hit in the head. And he's rolling around on the floor. It's like, oh no. So he has to cut that out. But yeah, he's a talented player. But he's only on loan at West Brom, so they need to work out how to keep him, because their two best players, West Brom's, were him and Diangana from West Ham. So their two best players have been loan signings. So I don't know what's going to happen to them in that way. But yeah, he's super talented though, man, definitely. But Ben Rama, if people are gonna judge Ben Rama on that, they're gonna miss out then.
Yeah,
they're gonna miss out.
Honestly, I think anyone who can get him should just get him, because I think he's that good, and I've seen him a lot this year. And I remember the first time I saw him, it was right at the beginning of the season, and I forgot who they were playing, but he was I think he'd come back from injury at the beginning of the season, and then he was taking his time to get into it and whatever. And it was a game where it just clicked. And this is earlier in the season when Ollie Watkins started scoring goals and whatever. And I was just like, this player is good. Like, who is this player? I've never even heard of this player before. And then after, they were saying, the pundits or whatever, they were talking, and they spoke to the manager, and they were like, he was just like, Ben Rama is just, he's working his way back to full fitness. So I was just like, that's not even full fitness. It's a joke, man. When I talk to Bradley's like, nah, he's a joke. Like, he's an absolute joke, man. And we'll just see. We're gonna talk about West Brom now. I think West Brom.
Oh, by the way, just one thing on Ollie Watkins. He's been linked with Leeds, and I would certainly enjoy seeing him up front for us in the Prem.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's been linked. Again, links and rumours, but one of our reliable reporters for Leeds United has said that he's on the Leeds United watch list. So, yeah, I would certainly take him, definitely.
Yeah, and what I
rate Watkins highly, man.
Yeah,
I rate him highly.
What I like about him is the fact that, yes, he scores goals, but he does literally, he works so hard for the team. And I know for Leeds, that's a big thing. That's why he loves Brentford so much, because of what he gives the team as opposed to the goals. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, if you were to get Ollie, that would be good. I'm going to DM
Ollie Watkins in a Bielsa system would be magic. Would be absolutely magic. Message him and tell him.
Are you getting Leeds? Are you getting Leeds? Like, what's going on here? So you might just air it. Like, it's so, I was telling you off air, whatever. That I've messaged Cyrus. Oh, congratulations. We're all chatting. Yeah, no, thanks. Blah blah blah. I messaged Ollie. Ollie just aired it. He just aired it. But it was it was right after. So he obviously still, not feeling it. But I'm gonna message him again now. Hopefully he's in a better mood. But it's credit to him, because he just wants to win, and you can see that when he's on
you can see it where he plays. You can see it in the way he plays, man.
He just wants to win, man, and hopefully, Brentford fans won't like me saying this, but hopefully he leaves and goes to the Prem. because I always want the best for any player. Do you get what I'm saying? So, West Brom, they definitely need to make signings. That squad.
Yes.
If that squad goes up, I mean, now that they're up, if you don't make too many changes, they're going to go straight back down.
Straight back down. Well, Daps, we said on an early podcast that I was on before, that team is set up for this season and this season only. Whether it went up or stayed in the Championship, they were going to have to make changes in the summer regardless. You think about some of their best players. We just mentioned 2 of their best players there. They're both loan signings, so they're not even theirs. Their strikers are Charlie Austin, Hal Robson-Kanu. And then you've got people like Matt Phillips, who's been there before. He's not going to do
Jake
that
Livermore.
now. Yeah, Grzycki is definitely a signing just to get you up. But what's Grzycki going to do in the
Premier League? Yeah,
no. And they lost Nathan Ferguson to Crystal Palace. That was huge. One of their centre backs. They've got to change a lot in that team if they're going to even be competitive. They have to.
Yeah. It's going to be a massive struggle for them, and you've hit the nail on the head. They have to change a lot of people in that team, and have they got the money to do so in this climate? We'll just have to see. But one thing, I just don't. You know what? I'm vexed that they've had to come up at expense of Brentford. I'm vexed because when I watch them play, I'm just like, nothing really.
It's not exciting, man.
Yeah, a lot of the time they just about get it over the line, and it's no thrills football, and regardless, you just got to do what you got to do, win the thingy. Do you know what's funny though? I don't know how. Who I think West Brom should try and get, and people are going to think I'm mad for this. I think they should, if it's not too late, I don't know what he's doing right now. I think they should try going for Lyle Taylor.
He's been linked with Celtic though.
Has he been linked with Celtic now?
Yeah. I think today it came out that Celtic are looking to get him. But I mean, it's the Premier League, man. So depends how much you want to test yourself.
Honestly, you don't think he's I see it. The open talks for free agent Lyle Taylor. Lyle Taylor will be on this podcast in a couple of weeks, by the way, but that's already been out, so I can say that one. I can say that one. Do you know what it is? I'm just giving some of the people that we've got coming on. I'm just giving them a couple of weeks because they're on holidays. They've got to sort out if they're sorting out moves or whatever. Give them a couple of weeks. When it all settles down, then we'll get him. The only reason I said that because it came out a couple of weeks ago that he was coming in. So yeah, that's fine. But if you don't go Celtic, honestly think he could do a good job in the Premier League. And I say that because if you haven't got money like that, you can get him on a free. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just think it would make sense to just take a punt with him.
Yeah, or somebody else they can look at is Carlin Grant from Huddersfield. Guy got 19 goals. Yeah. And if you remember for that brief spell that he was in there with Huddersfield in the Premier League, when he actually got a touch of the ball, he was scoring goals. So there's no doubt he could do it. Don't quote me on this, but I'm sure he got 19 goals in that Huddersfield team, and they finished way down the table. He's like either 18, 19 goals or something like that. He's someone. Yeah, have a look, man. See, he's somebody that they should take a look at if they're looking to get a striker in.
19 goals, yeah.
19, there you go. In that Huddersfield team.
He's still only 22.
Yeah, man, he's young. The guy's young still. Yeah. He was doing it at Charlton a couple of years ago.
Wow. I didn't even know he's still only 22, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a good shout, man. That's a they need to hire you, mate, for the scouting or whatever. They need to hire you. No, that's definitely a good shout. And again, for clubs who ain't got a lot of money to spend, or if you do have money and you need to make wholesale changes like West Brom, that's a good shout. So,
But you see with You see West Brom though with Nathan Ferguson. I know he only burst on the scene this year, but they should have had him on a contract, a longer contract than having it expired this summer. He's now moved to Palace for what will be like a nominal fee or whatever it may be.
But I think that's more to do with the fact that I don't think they, in the early years of that contract, I don't think they expect him to kick on like he did. So if they did, they would have tied him down sooner. Do you get what I'm saying? So now it's their own fault. It's their own fault that that's happened, and I don't feel bad for them at all. So, so we're gonna quickly. So Leeds gone up. Where do you think they can finish next year, next season?
With the right recruitment and with Bielsa there, 10th.
I think
because I say that with on the premise that the Premier League will be far better than it was the past season, because it was terrible. This season just gone. It was awful. There's no two ways about it. The quality of the football was down. The top teams have fallen a bit. Besides Liverpool, even Man City lost a lot of games because they didn't recruit right. So on the basis of that, I reckon 10th.
I think for Leeds, top 10 finish as well. And yeah, people are going to think you're mad because they just come up. But no, a lot of teams are going to struggle. Going to Ellen Road is going to be so long for a lot of teams next year. And I want people, when it actually happens, I'm going to keep refreshing this where I'm going to say, Leeds are going to give a lot of teams problems next year, and they will finish in the top 10. Boom. I'm going to clip that up, and I'm going to keep reloading that. Fulham.
Yeah, just going back on to Leeds, what a lot of people don't understand, don't get, is that football is about coaching. And if you only watch the Premier League, you think that is it, and that's the best you're going to get. But when you watch various amounts of football, you can see that the bottom half of the Premier League isn't strong at all. You've got Crystal Palace that have been hanging on by a thread forever. They haven't bought a proper striker in about 3-4 years. They play with about 5 DMs. They do just the minimum. You know that stat with them this season, they've stayed up by scoring less than 2 goals in a game. They're the only team that's ever done it. So they've never scored more than 2 goals in one game this season. That's terrible. You got Newcastle in there. They're not having no takeover, so they're going to be stuck with Joel Linton up front and these guys. So that's why I say we can finish 10th.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Premier League table now. And when you look at the teams in there, people like Brighton, you can do better than them. Burnley, I think they'll drop. And this is what I'm saying. You know, Lamin, what you're saying in regards to the year being so poor. Burnley finished 10th this year. Yeah. Burnley have been crap this year. Do you get what I'm saying? You know,
shout out to the main goalkeeper, Nick Pope. Rate him highly. Always rate him highly too.
I think he's all right.
No, don't do this.
I think he's all right, to be honest.
He's a top keeper.
I think he's a good keeper, but you know where I lie with when it comes to keepers, yeah? I'm one of those where it's like, until I can't just jump on the bandwagon, because I've seen so many keepers play for lesser clubs who do it, and then when it comes to the big stages, they can't hack it. Do you get what I'm saying? And
you
know, you see it all the time. So if we look at someone like Jordan Pickford, everyone's like, yeah, England's number one. And I never ever wanted him. I remember people were linking him to Arsenal. I said, I didn't want him at Arsenal. And then when he went, and I remember saying on this podcast, I was like, am I missing something with Jordan Pickford? Why everyone wants him? And now you look at him now. If you go back, Paul Robinson was another one. I know. Get me? He was another one. You had Tim Howard, good keeper in America. He come to Man United, he couldn't do it. Ben Foster, another one. Really, really good keeper at Man United. He couldn't hack it, and he said it himself. I heard him talking on the Peter Crouch podcast. So when you talk about keepers, I'm always like, all right, cool, but I need to see something extraordinary. Like I remember seeing Van der Sar at Fulham, and I had no doubts in my mind that he could step up and do the job.
Yeah,
you know, for Man United, because he had that about him. Do you know what I mean? And it's all good making all of these saves and that, but you just,
You see,
I'm really harsh on them.
I hear you with that as well, because in the same way that people say De Gea is declining and everything else like that, and he is, Dean Henderson having a good season at Sheffield United doesn't equate to being a number one at Manchester United. It's a completely different pressure. You've got to concentrate more for a start because you're going to have less shots at you. The mistake that you make for Sheffield United becomes a whole talking segment on shows for about 2 weeks. So it's a different pressure. So I get that. But like you with Van der Sar saying that he could have done it from Fulham at a bigger club, I do believe that for Nick Pope, and I think he's going to get a chance with possibly Chelsea because they definitely need a new goalkeeper. So
I want to see who they get, to be honest, because they're going to get rid of Kepa. They're not going to get that money for Kepa that they spent, obviously.
No.
So they might send him out on loan. I don't know, but they're going to get small money, and I want to see who they bring in. And Nick Pope I don't think Nick Pope is the answer, to be totally honest with you.
We'll see. I can only go by from what I've seen, and I've said it over since he broke into that Burnley team the first time, because he had an injury for a bit and had to come out, and he's gone back in and just regained his the way he's played, his momentum again. He's been solid, man. He's been a good goalie.
I'm trying to look at the teams now.
But you see the rest of the bottom of that table as well. Look at Norwich, -49, bro. -49.
Goal difference. Look at that. That's gonna be West Brom next year. I'm telling you. It's gonna be West Brom. And I'm happy to say, like, I was wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? But that squad going up, West Brom, it's not gonna cut it. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
So, but yeah, thanks for this. You know, we need to do this again as soon as the Championship starts up. Again, I'm gonna be bringing you right back on the podcast for our little Championship updates.
Well, that's if I'm still watching, you know, because I'm Premier League now, so I might
just
take my eye off the ball.
Are you gonna still keep up to date with the Championship, or were you?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I thought you were mainly doing it when you said that because of Leeds being there, but I'm definitely gonna watch it because I've got the thing I've got on my TV, which I shouldn't really say, is I've got like this satellite thing, so I get all the games, even the Championship games. So it's easy to watch.
The thing is, what people miss out is, because I was still watching League One when we was in the Championship too. You miss out on players. You go, oh, I know this player already. I'll give you an example. Dele Alli. People were waxing lyrical about him at Tottenham, but I could see he was going to step up from when he was at MK Dons. He was taking the piss in that league. It wasn't even funny. He was just messing around in that League One. Like, he was just taking the mick with players. But that's what I'm saying. You get to see some of these players. Like I saw Jack Grealish on loan at Notts County. Again, could see he was levels above. So it's good to watch these games, man, because you don't know what you could see some gems, man.
So I tell you who's had a good season in the Championship? Emil Smith-Rowe.
Yeah.
So I want to see what Arsenal do with him. I
will actually back you on that, because you guys get accused of hyping up your players too much. So I will back you on that. He has been good for Huddersfield.
I'm not one of those guys, man. Do you know what I mean? I had to tweet out the other day that, you know, if we're being honest, Pepe's had an all right season. You know, he's not had a great season. He's not had the worst season. He's just been all right. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. But I'm not going to sit here and call him a flop, because he ain't been a flop. I'm not going to sit here and be like, Pepe. No, as the season has gone on, Pepe's become better. Do you know what I mean? And
you see the term flop with Pepe though. It's relative to his price tag in terms of it's 72, so you expect more. But also it's in the fact that he scored 2 goals in the Europa League against somebody, and I do not remember their names. It wasn't a and then you got dropped. But it was the fact that your fans thought that he should start on the basis of scoring those goals against that team, and it doesn't equate. He had 3 managers, and it's taken a while for Mikel Arteta to trust him. So there must have been something there where he just wasn't doing something in training that he wasn't showing to Unai or Freddie.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more so the fact that, number one, I know his demeanour comes across like he's not bothered. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think that's the case. And I do think it was a case of him having to find his feet and settle down.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, regardless of the price tag, he's still a player coming in from front. It's a whole new country, whole new style, and he's having to do all of that in a failing team. Do you get what I'm saying? That's not me saying. That's not me saying, oh, he's had a good season on the bench. No, like, he's been all right. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't care about the price tag. I don't care if we bought 15 million or whatever. Man United bought Daniel James for 15 million, and for that 15 million, he's been crap. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I don't care about all of that. I look at what I see. I'm not one of those guys that say, hype up this player, hype up that player. I'm not one of those guys that Arsenal win, 3 games in advance, and all of a sudden, all our problems
the best in the world again. Yeah,
it's never like that.
See, Dapo, that's a problem though, man, because you've got players there that you do need to get rid of, right? There's no ifs or buts. Doesn't matter if they have 5, 6 games in a row, that's good. They've got to go. But the problem is, once they've had 4, 5, 6 games in a row, that's all right. You fans start to go, maybe we can keep him for next season. That is how you've dropped to where you've dropped.
Yeah, I know. And there's so many reasons why we've dropped. Giving players contracts who shouldn't be having those contracts, for long periods of times, and keep renewing it. And recruitment has been bad. Do you get what I'm saying?
Bad, terrible.
It's been terrible. And there's so many things for that. And we're too loyal to a lot of these players. And I've said before, at Arsenal, it's become a place where there's been an air of comfort, where there's no accountability for anything. Guendouzi, I actually like Guendouzi. That's the thing. I actually like him as a player. But what he's done against Brighton, any other manager at Arsenal, in Emery time, he probably would have got away with it. Wenger definitely would have got away with that. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's no accountability. And now, that's what I'm liking about Arteta. Like, this is how I want to do it. If you don't want to do it like this, you can go. So as much as I love Ozil, listen, I'm one of Ozil's biggest fans. But if he's not doing what it takes to buy into that system, or for whatever reason, then cool, go. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what we say. I want Ozil to go. Left up to me, Ozil will be back in that team, showing everyone what he can really do. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's just so many reasons with Arsenal, and I'm very much aware that we're years off, like 2-3 years off, with the right recruitment of, competing, not winning, like at least competing. Do you get what I'm saying? No matter who came in before Arteta or whatnot, we were always going to be how we are, like crap. But at least now we're crap with structure, and we've got something to build on. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not going to change overnight. So this transfer window that we're in now, we're not going to get rid of 8 players and bring in 8 players. No. It's not going to happen. We're going to have to get rid of 1 or 2, 1 or 2 here. So, and then bring in, a couple more people who upgrade, which is why I don't understand why people don't want Willian. I just don't understand that. Like,
you want him now?
Of course. Is Willian better than what we have? Yes. Does he? Wait. My problem with him is the 3 years. I don't want the 3 years. That's a long time. But like,
you're having the 3 years. You got no choice.
No. We've got no choice. That's literally my only thing with the whole Willian thing. Apart from that, like, in terms of our squad, does he make our squad better? Yes, he makes our squad better. Do you know what I'm saying? We're all assuming that Arsenal are going to go out and buy this mad winger. We've got money for all these wingers. No. Let's just say all of these transfer deals, let's just say, which I don't think is happening. We're getting a defender, Coutinho. If we get those players and then we add Willian on top of that, it's never going to happen, by the way. And we add Willian on top of that. That's a good window. If we just get Willian and it stops at Willian and we don't really, it's bad. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Willian is
that it was like when you addressed it with Czech, but then left it at Czech.
Yeah.
You got the goalkeeper and then that was it.
No, if Willian is the only one, then I'm not happy with that. Do you get what I'm saying? But Willian, people act because he's 31, he's listen, I don't care how old he is. He's still doing the business. And if people are looking at, he only got this amount of goals. Number one, that's a decent return in terms of goals and assists. Yeah, that's number one. Number two, I've seen him play. The guy is good. Do you get what I'm saying? I've seen when Chelsea had been absolutely rock bottom, when they were rubbish that year. He was the only one to come out of any credit. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
William can still be Willian for us, but for some reason, people are just not buying into it. But people need to.
No, but I do see why some people don't want him though, in terms of it being another plus 30 from Chelsea, and it's, you know, it seems like you're becoming a Chelsea retirement home. But he is different. But I can also see people's point as well about the 3 years, and is it going to age badly like the Ozil one has, and you're going to be having this.
I can definitely see that. The 3 years. I don't want 3 years, but right now, if we're looking at where we are, people need to understand where Arsenal are right now. We are not a top 4 team. If we were a top 4 team, you can easily turn away the likes of Willian.
Yeah.
Easily. But we're not a top 4 team. Like, the reality is we finished 8th. We finished 8th this year. We haven't got the money to be spending like that, to be bringing in, what Zaha, take 40 million, take it, boom. Oh, you want party? Yeah, go. No, we haven't got money like that. So if it is a thing where we have to strengthen other areas which are more important, like defence and maybe, you know, centre midfield, I'm happy to strengthen those. But if it means that, okay, in terms of the wingers and whatever, we can also get Willian, who can actually do a very good job, I'm happy with that. And if it means we have to give him the extra year, then cool. But we're not in the position right now to be turning away players of quality. Do you get what I'm saying? And all these people like, nah, we don't want him, we don't want him. They're jumping on the bandwagon because if he comes and is absolutely trash, then fair enough. But I genuinely don't believe he's gonna come and be trash.
Yeah.
It's not like when we've got Louise, who Louise historically hasn't been at that level consistently anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? And then he was on the decline and he's not wanted by his club anymore. It's not like that. It's not like Czech where he was past his best and they didn't want him anymore. No, Lampard is trying everything to keep Willian, but just don't want to give him the 3 years. Like, he's had a good season. He's still playing at a high level, and we're going to get that in. Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, and it adds some.
My prediction with Willian is that he'll be good for your first year, but I don't know about the next 2. I think he'll be good the first time you sign him, but who knows, man? You just have to wait and see.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know. People, but if you plucked a name out of air, let's just say, I don't know, a player from France who's hyped up that no one knows, but all of a sudden he's hyped up, and Arsenal are linked to him, they'd want him straight away. Never seen him play, but they'd want him straight away. Do you get what I'm saying? You just, I don't know. That's me anyway, personally. I genuinely don't feel like it's going to come back, and I think it improves us and it gives us a bit more experience as well. Do you know what I'm saying? There's only so long you can go, you know, using, you know, Reece Nelsons and Martinellis, and, you know, some games you're going to need, you know, people that have been there, done that. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll see.
Actually, speaking of like Reece Nelson, I think Joe Willock could do with a loan to the Championship.
People say this, you know, and I don't know.
Seriously, I do, because he gets into some amazing positions on the pitch. Like, I mean, amazing prime positions, and then that last bit just gets fluffed up every time. Like, I think he scored like 2 goals.
He's terrible in front of goal, 100%.
He could do with a loan where he's going to see a lot of the ball. He could do with that. It would benefit him a lot, trust me. Just like it's done for Smith Rowe.
Yeah, Smith Rowe. That's another one. He's coming back, man. And
see, Smith Rowe comes back. Smith Rowe comes back. He's ahead of Willock, the way he's played. He's got to be. He was busting it for Huddersfield, and Huddersfield weren't that good, but he was making them tick over in that midfield.
Thing is, Emery liked him a lot, and I think that injury, he suffered an injury, and when he was trying to come back from injury, I think they decided to load him up. But from what I saw, he's a good player, good player.
Yeah, man.
He's gone to Huddersfield and kicked him. You know,
trust me, it won't hurt Willock or even Reece Nelson as well, because Reece Nelson's missing a little something too if he's going to make it in a top team.
But do you know what it is with Reece Nelson? He's a manager's dream, because he comes on and, like, you can see he's got the attributes to do something, and he'll come on and make an impact. Do you know what I mean? He'll come on and bring energy and he'll make the impact, but he needs more. But I do think another season in and around the first team will do him better. Willock, maybe the loan move. I'm more inclined to listen to you about Willock. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially because where he gets like he's not good enough at everything else to be able to be that. I mean, to get away with being that bad in front of goal. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, with certain players, you know, let's say Ceballos in front of goal, he fluffs it, but you know everything else that Ceballos can give you. Do you get what I'm saying? Reece Nelson, he's able to cause unrest with defense. You know, he needs to improve his end product a bit, but he's getting into the positions. A bit like, I don't want to compare them, but Adama Traore. Adama Traore used to be able to get into good positions and absolutely do nothing. And out of nowhere, boom, out of nowhere, click. So,
you see, in that ilk, what you're talking about, you're talking like Harvey Barnes at Leicester, but he's been awful in front of goal. He's been missing chances that Vardy's been putting on a plate for him for months. But he's got a good assist rate, so he's setting them up nicely. So it's a yin and yang with that effect. But at the moment, Joe Willock, man, he's just messing everything up for you guys, man. He doesn't make the right pass, and his shooting is atrocious too. So I'm saying like a loan to a team like somewhere like Burnham City, where he's going to be the main guy in midfield, and he's got some good players in front of him.
Play alongside my guy, McEachran. Josh McEachran.
Oh, is that your guy? Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Josh McEachran. So, oh no, we'll see. But thank you for this. So, guys, you're going to start seeing a lot more videos from me. And, you're obviously going to get the normal regular podcast with everyone, but you're going to just get these little mini podcasts. Well, I say mini, but we've only chatted for like an hour. You're going to get these mini ones, these mini bits of content where I just give it to you and whatever. So, hope you enjoyed. As always, keep liking, subscribing, and sharing. Kagey, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem, brother.
Thank you very much. And do you want to big up your socials or anything? If I want to write them, they'll be in the description and everything. And everyone just abuse him. Nah, don't abuse him. Don't abuse him. But love that, man. And we'll see you next time in a bit.